In the year 2078, the new economic bloc, NEB, set its sights on Sirius 6b, transforming the once vibrant planet into a desolate wasteland through ruthless mining operations. Pushed to the brink, a federation of workers known as the Alliance rose up to challenge the corporation's destructive ambitions. Despite a grueling decade of conflict, victory remained frustratingly out of reach. Deep within a dilapidated Alliance mining town, Private Leon's routine takes an unexpected turn. A casual moment of camaraderie trading smokes with a fellow soldier is abruptly interrupted by an approaching figure near their bunker. As tension builds, Lieutenant Landowska observes a terrified NEB soldier who somehow managed to breach their sophisticated automated defenses. 5 years into the war, Alliance scientists unveiled their ultimate weapon, artificially intelligent, self-replicating machines dubbed Screamers, for their ear-splitting degradation sounds. These autonomous mobile swords were designed to even the odds against the new economic bloc. However, the horrifying reality of their operation quickly becomes apparent. The scared NEB soldier desperately tries to communicate, attempting to show something crucial. But before he can explain, the Screamers strike with brutal efficiency. One machine slices off his arm, while others viciously dismember him, leaving Leona nauseated and Landowska questioning the moral high ground of their cause. Lieutenant Commander Chuck intervenes, pragmatically reminding everyone that without the Screamers, the Alliance would have been defeated long ago. Intrigued by the soldier's mysterious mission, Landowska suggests Chuck investigate what he wanted to reveal. Cautiously, Chuck heads out, wary of a potential trap. The Screamers operate on a simple, terrifying principle: target anything with a heartbeat. The Alliance counters this with special bracelets emitting a frequency that renders the machines temporarily blind. Lately, these machines have been exhibiting strange behavior, collecting body parts underground, a development that both fascinates and disturbs Chuck. Securing a critical cylinder containing an important message, Chuck makes his way to Commander Joseph Hendrickson. The commander, enjoying a moment of refined calm, listens to Mozart and admires an ancient coin, a stark contrast to the brutal world surrounding him. Inside the message is an invitation for peaceful negotiation. Commander Joe connects with Secretary Green via a flickering hologram, distorted by Sirius 6's intense radiation. Green reveals the NEB has discovered another resource-rich planet and seeks to establish peace for mutual mining opportunities. The planet's radiation is so severe that soldiers rely on special cigarettes to counteract the effects of nuclear fallout. Chuck observes how fortunate they are that the war never reached Earth, while Joe cynically suggests that a direct threat to Earth would have prompted an earlier ceasefire. Suddenly, chaos erupts. The building trembles as alarms blare, announcing a massive Alliance plane crash just outside the bunker. Of the 38-person crew, only one survivor remains, triggering an immediate Screamer response due to his lack of a protective bracelet. The machines first prioritize collecting the fresh corpses before Alliance soldiers frantically rescue the survivor. In the commander's quarters, they learn the survivor is Ace Jefferson, a rookie marksman who recently enlisted. While researching a modified Screamer, Joe discovers something alarming. The machine's CPU no longer reads in human language. Even more shocking, Ace reveals that the real Secretary Green died 2 years ago, and there's no genuine ceasefire agreement, just continued warfare on a new planet. Chuck remains hopeful about the hologram, but Joe suspects a manipulative trick designed to keep them isolated on Sirius 6. Convinced the Alliance has abandoned them, he decides to personally visit NEB headquarters and negotiate a real peace. Choosing Ace as his companion to minimize team casualties, Joe prepares for a dangerous journey across the snow-covered planet. Chuck remains behind to command the base. The rookie's anxiety grows as Joe warns him about the bracelet's vulnerability to radiation. Passing an abandoned refinery, Joe hands Ace a red smoke, cryptically stating he'll know the device works when he doesn't die, a grim testament to their desperate circumstances. A Screamer stalks their path, swiftly killing a rat and dragging its body underground. Ace ponders whether these machines can still be classified as robots. Joe explains that the Alliance originally created them, but their continuous self-replication has made their total number unknowable. Suddenly, they take cover at an approaching figure, revealing a small child named David, clutching a teddy bear. The orphan claims to survive alone in the ruins, evasive about his sustenance and survival tactics. David shares how he constantly hides from the Screamers. Joe offers a food ration and initially plans to collect David later, but Ace convinces him to let the boy accompany them. That night, they shelter in the ruins. Ace demonstrates rat cooking techniques while Joe gets startled by a rock bug, much to David's amusement. Later, Joe playfully investigates David's teddy bear, unaware that Ace has removed his protective bracelet to relax. A Screamer attacks, but Joe saves Ace by destroying the machine. The robot resembles an animal and contains an upgraded chip with mysterious markings. The next morning, crossing a frozen lake, they're detected by an NEB soldier through a refinery's ventilation shaft. The soldier shoots David, who reveals himself as a screamer disguised as a human. He shrieks like the machines and bends Ace's gun barrel before Ace manages to destroy him. NEB Sniper Becker, impressed by the screamer's increasing intelligence, allows Joe and Ace into their shelter after viewing the fake peace negotiation footage. Joe attempts to warn Chuck about the new human-like screamers, but radiation disrupts the communication. Private Becker and Ross reveal they're the sole survivors of a similar attack after a child screamer decimated their team. Tensions escalate as the NEB soldiers blame the Alliance for creating the machines. Ace argues they had no choice after the new economic block's initial bombings. With rifles drawn, a black market dealer named Jessica interrupts, offering Scotch to defuse the situation. Jessica offers to guide Joe to NEB headquarters in exchange for passage to Earth. Joe crushes her hope by revealing the ongoing conflict has spread to another planet. Becker criticizes Ross's extreme nervousness, while Ross becomes increasingly unstable. Ace discovers Jessica's Alliance weapons and a plutonium rocket, but Joe rejects using them to prevent further irradiation. They descend underground toward NEB headquarters, entering through a food court covered in blood with no signs of life. Ross's hysteria prompts Joe to threaten him, ordering Ace to shoot if he can't control himself. While attempting to send a message from the command center, they're forced to hide from a small reptilian screamer with a saw blade face. The screamer downloads information and leaves. Ross's panicked movement nearly compromises their position, requiring Ace to use his bracelet to mask his heartbeat. The situation becomes critical when Ace accidentally makes a sound, causing the screamer to attack. Ross ultimately saves Ace by shooting the machine. Joe orders Ace to escort everyone to Jessica's place while he investigates the screamer processor. The computer reveals modified screamer designs. Type 1, Reptilian, and Type 3, Cyborg-like David models. A Type 3 screamer approaches Joe, attempting to kill him before he decapitates it. Dozens of David-like machines emerge from the shadows. Joe and Ace escape to the refinery, reuniting with the others. Jessica explains the elusive Type 2 screamer was a bait model resembling a wounded soldier. Becker reveals they repeat phrases like, "Help me." Suspecting Ross is a Type 2 screamer, Becker kills him by throwing a knife into his chest. Joe counters with a bloody knife of his own. The group becomes paranoid, unsure who might be a screamer. They decide to return to the Alliance bunker, with Jessica questioning their reception. Joe warns that Chuck, if smart, won't simply let them in. Returning along their original path, they pass the destroyed David models while Becker philosophizes about their insignificance. At the bunker, Chuck's suspicious behavior makes Joe hesitate. The door opens, revealing a slow-moving army of Type 3 screamers. The group takes a defensive position on a dune, easily shooting the machines. As the screamers begin producing saw blades, Ace deploys the mini-nuke Jessica had. The explosion obliterates the entire Alliance facility, destroying the Type 3 machines and rendering the 4 survivors unconscious. Recovering by sunrise, Ace hears Becker's wounded cry of "Help me!" falling into a Type 2 screamer's trap. The machine crushes Ace between its hands, discarding his corpse before attacking Joe. Joe shoots Becker, only damaging his flesh suit. Becker claims to be something entirely different, capable of independent thought, unlike the robotic hive mind. His excessive talking provokes Joe to load a grenade into his gun, blowing him in half. Inside reveals a triangular processor, distinct from the Alliance's round original and the self-revised Screamer's square design. Jessica requests to examine the chip, prompting Joe to cut her hand to verify her humanity. She convinces him of her authenticity, and they share a quick kiss. They journey to Alamogordo, where miners first discovered the planet's valuable resource and scientists developed nuclear weapons. Joe heard rumors of planetary escape. En route, Jessica admits having no reason to return, but Joe encourages her to continue together. Arriving at a site requiring an Alliance commander's biometric signature, they discover a hidden entrance and an escape shuttle intended only for commanding officers. While attempting to move a blocking crane, Joe accidentally triggers a countdown and a platform that safely lowers Jessica. As Joe tries to descend, a screamer wearing Chuck's face attacks him. The machine attempts to throw Joe off the crane, but he desperately holds on. The talkative screamer begins strangling him, using Chuck's thighs. It reveals that Becker was actually an NEB commander, whose body, like Chuck's, became expendable after the screamers killed him. Joe stabs the Chuck-faced screamer with a metal blade, then electrocutes it using a live wire. The machine is destroyed when it lands on a security laser. Reaching the shuttle, Jessica reveals only one life support system exists. She urges Joe to leave, but he decides their fate with a coin flip. Before checking the result, they kiss, when another Jessica appears, revealing both are advanced screamers capable of bleeding and near-human behavior. The first Jessica tries explaining, but Joe pushes her aside. The second Jessica attempts to steal the shuttle, sparking a fierce battle between the two artificial beings. One Jessica, having developed genuine feelings for Joe, defends him, but is ultimately punched through her power core during the countdown. The second Jessica wails and fires a disorienting bullet, but the shuttle's exhaust ultimately destroys her. With moments remaining, Joe jokes that screamers have evolved to human-like behavior, even killing each other. The first Jessica, fighting her programming, confesses her love before shutting down. Joe departs Sirius 6 in the escape shuttle, discarding his Screamer hiding bracelet. The shuttle lands near a Type 3 Screamer's teddy bear, which secretly hitches a ride to Earth, ending the movie.